Self-harm is often a very personal and private experience that we may be secretive of and worry about other people discovering. It's also something that we do to our own bodies, and that may mean at times that we think if it's not hurting anybody else, what's so wrong with it? If this is your experience, we want to highlight that we understand how hard it can be to keep such big struggles and feelings so private and not share them with anybody, and to think it's okay that we hurt in this way. If that's where you are today, well done for asking this question and exploring the answer. So who is self-harm hurting and why does that matter? First, we want to highlight that self-harm is hurting at least one person, you, and that you matter and don't deserve to be hurting in this way. It's so important to realise that our self-harm is having a lasting impact on us and our bodies, causing physical damage, highlighting the mental struggle that we may be facing right now, and potentially impacting our self-confidence and our pain thresholds in the future. You do matter, and it's good and okay to reach out for help and speak about what you're struggling with and find less destructive ways to cope. Next, we wanted to say that self-harm is often hurting other people as well as us, whether we notice this or not. We're not saying this to cause guilt or shame, and this doesn't mean that your experience, struggle and self-harm journey isn't valid, but we want to notice the times that self-harm is hurting other people. For example, family and close friends may become really worried about us and not be sure how best to support us or where to turn. Finally, even if self-harm was hurting nobody, we want to recognise that self-harm is a way of coping, but it's a way of coping that often gets us caught in a cycle that becomes addictive and can lead to riskier or more dangerous forms of self-harm. This means that it isn't a good way of coping, and that there are other ways out there that will help us cope with and express the feelings that we're struggling with.